All right. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight. It is April 7th, and we are 25 days away from Impact. I'm so excited to be coming to you live and officially from Jackson, Wyoming. Thank you for all of you that have been praying for the move. Now it's just about unpacking. And so grateful to be here and so grateful for all of your support in this transition. We are going to talk tonight about, again, this Zoom love is leaders of vision and empowerment. Leaders of vision and empowerment. And our tagline for this year and for the Impact event, but also for Inspire and Ignite is learn it, live it, lead it, right? Learn it, live it, lead it. And so I want us to think about, as we think about being leaders of vision and empowerment, how do we learn it? How do we learn operating in love as leaders of vision and empowerment? How do we learn that? How do we live it? And then how do we lead it? And you might want to take stock as we go through tonight as well too, is where do you think and you may look at it from three perspectives. You might look at it from the love perspective. You might look at it you might also look at from four actually, love, leaders, vision, and empowerment. So write those four words down: love, leaders, vision, and empowerment. So I want you to think of those four words. And then you might want to, on the other side of your page, write learn it, live it, lead it. And tonight would be a great night to take stock on where you are in the process in love, in leading, in vision and empowerment. Where are you in the process of learning it, of living it, and ultimately of leading it? And we're always going to grow. I mean, I should say we always want to be growing in all those components and in all those ways. And so it's a great time, again, 25 days before impact, to take stock of where your business is right now, and really remembering that our business is a reflection of our own personal growth, and our love, our ability to lead and be a leader, and also the vision that we carry and the ability to empower others. And the great news is not only should we always grow in those areas, but we can always grow in those areas. So you're not limited to where you are today, but it's important to take stock in that so that we know where we want to go and how we need to focus on growing. And so I think as we one, I want to encourage you on this. There's always more to learn, but we don't want to continue to learn. That's the consume side of things and never actually live it out, right? We need to live it out. And sometimes we hold up thinking, I need to learn more. I need to grow more. I need to become more. But most of the learning and becoming happens in the doing, right? It happens in the knowing that I don't have to be perfect to move forward and impact people. And when I get into action, I actually am, like we talked about this. Gosh, I think it was last year, towards the end of last year, we talked about swinging, right? We talked about, as we do a stick in a story, that you're swinging, you're taking swings, you're at bat. And when we think about success rates, really in anything, if we don't define success correctly, which most people don't, and if we don't define failure correctly, we tend to think that we're failing more than we're succeeding. And many times that stops us in our tracks or stops us altogether. And so really, I want you to remember, and this is even a great place to always come back to, is really that perfect love casts out all fear. Right? Perfect love casts out all fear. And that's a Bible verse that applies to a lot of things, but I want you to see it even as it applies to being a leader of vision and empowerment. Because really, if you have perfect love for the person that is in front of you, if you have love for the people that have already joined your team as customers or as social business partners, if you have love for the mission and the social business that we're a part of here in Alavea, that all of that will absolutely um, trump any fear, right? And it will override any fear that would keep you from moving forward when our eyes stay fixed and focused on love. When our eyes stay fixed and focused on love and on the source of love. And so I want to encourage you. I want to challenge you. I want you to think about what is the thing that I've been like growing on and learning but I haven't actually taken the steps to step out and live it out. I haven't done the thing because either I'm afraid of failing or I'm just focused on fear in general or on again fear. You guys probably know the acronym is false evidence appearing real. Fear is false evidence appearing real. So we've written a narrative in our minds of the outcome of something, and then it's an outcome that actually isn't even going to happen, but as a result, we don't even get into action. So I want to challenge you guys. I want you to challenge yourself. I want you to challenge one another. What will you do over the next 25 days? Right? Could you do some things over the next 25 days that's actually living out or leading um, some things that you've already know how to do, you already have in you, you're already more than capable of, and you're going to step into new territory. You're going to step into some things that might be uncomfortable for you. You're going to step in to and actually step through false evidence appearing real and just say, hey, I'm going to operate in love and get into action. Um, because I know, guys, that there is so much more in each and every single one of you. I can tell you guys, I, as I look at the names of those of you guys that are on here tonight, and as I see those of you guys that are commenting in the chat, I believe in you, and I know what you are capable of is more than you can even imagine. And so I want to challenge you to step into that more, right? Step into that more and know that as you do that, the things that were uncomfortable before, or the things that were fearful before, when you actually step into it, you realize, man, that wasn't even what I thought it was going to be. And it becomes this new area of growth, then a new foundation of faith that you stand on and can see higher, can have greater vision as a result of that, and lead other people to do the same thing. And so I want us to think about it for you. What is the area right now of those of love, lead, right? Vision or empowerment? What is the area that you feel like you doubt yourself in? That maybe you don't feel confident in, or you don't feel like it's something that you operate in. And let's decide that we're going to actively push against that. We're going to actively move in the opposite direction, or move through that fear, and actually just go for it. One of the things that I would encourage you guys with is when we think about meeting people where they're at, because that's what love is, right? Love is meeting people where they're at, but it's also believing more for them, right? When someone's stuck someplace they don't want to be, or when someone is struggling with where they are, it is definitely, it takes somebody, remember, as we've been talking about, which is one thing I'm going to challenge you guys with, as we've been talking about our Inside Out events, we've been talking about helping people find their fit in Alavea. And remember, fit Remember what FIT stands for? Friends Inspiring Transformation, right? Friends Inspiring Transformation. And that's helping people find their fit in a community that you guys are faithfully, you get on every Zoom, you come to every event that we have because you know you have experienced the love, you've experienced the vision, you've been empowered, you know the difference that being a part of this community has made in your life, being on these products have made in your life, being a part of the greater mission has made in your life. And now it's inviting other people to come on that journey. It's inviting other people to find their fit. By going back to your remembering room, like, right? Going back to remembering where would you be today if it weren't for being a part of Alavea? Where would you be physically? Where would you be in your growth as a leader? Where would you be emotionally, spiritually? Where would you be? Yeah, Nancy Ray said dead, and that's the truth for some of you. It's that, but then there's like a dead and in all kinds of other ways, right? In vision, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. I want you, sometimes we have to remember where we would have been and then have that perfect love overcome anything that would keep us from inviting somebody into exactly what they're waiting for. And so when we think about that, it comes back to knowing the value that has been added to your life. Not, you don't have to know, regurgitate science and information and all that stuff. That's why Sam and Steve do what they do for us. But what you do need to be able to do is share what's in it for the person that's right in front of you and care enough that you don't care about how they respond. Right? Now we want to lead with love. That doesn't mean we're rude about it or we're you know, pushy or any of those things, but it does mean we're strong. And it does mean we're willing to be vulnerable and share the stories about where we were and the hope, right? Vision, leaders of vision and empowerment, right? So if we're wanting to be a leader and no one's following us, then we have to know it's either because I'm not communicating vision correctly or not empowering people to make a decision or move into action that's going to change their life. And so think about vision. Without vision, people perish. Without vision, sometimes we even have people join our team or maybe even get started on product. We have to keep vision in front of people. We have to keep vision in front of people. And again, that vision is, why did they say yes? Right? Why did they say yes? If they haven't said yes yet, why should they say yes? And it's not, because of Alavea. It's not probably even because of nourishing the kids. It's whatever is most important to them. Now, some people it is the kids that will draw them in and get them excited. But you've got to continue to keep in front of them the preferred future, why they said yes. And that's where building that relationship with someone, guys, so that you can hold them accountable to what they said that they were going to do and why it is that they want to do it. Your heart, man, love, again, leaders of vision and empowerment allow their hearts to be connected with other people. Allow people's hopes and dreams and desires to become part of who that leader is, and what they're fighting for that person. And sometimes we have to slow down. In fact, not sometimes, all the time, we have to slow down enough to build a relationship that allows someone to be okay with being vulnerable and allows us to push in and ask the tough questions. At the 20K and above luncheon at Impact, that's one of the things that I'm going to talk about. But it's really important that we're developing that relationship that is going to see somebody across their victory line. right? And or what they currently see as their finish line. Really, as leaders, we help to move people's finish lines a little bit at a time, but fight for what they can currently see. And so the vision, we can't assume that once someone has communicated what they desire, that they're going to even remember it. We've got to keep it in front of them, whether it's results on product, whether it's results in becoming a social business partner and sharing with others. But it's continuing to keep something in front of people, a dream that would otherwise die if it doesn't become a purpose-driven vision. A purpose-driven vision. Um, and so you guys are incredible at welcoming people, at loving on people, at building community. And we've got to just invite more people in because there is a world in need of everything that we have. Product, 100%. Um, Community, 100%. Bigger mission and vision for their life, 100%. And so we've got to be willing to share the story over and over and over and over again and invite people. What part of that would you want to see change in your life? What part of my story makes your heart leap? What part of what you've heard is something that if it could change for you too, you'd want to be a part of that? You know, it's inviting them into the story and knowing, um, guys, that when you think about any great accomplishment, really, you could probably list it from athletics, um, to government, to a church, to a family, to a business, like really across the board. Usually all of them involve recruiting people. And I want to flip that thought on its head a little bit. Recruiting people into the vision, right? Recruiting people into the mission, recruiting people into something bigger than what they currently see and recruiting them into something that they don't know currently exists or is an option. And so I want to challenge you guys with some key things. One is how many of you will at least do one, and some of you already have, so congratulations on that. How many of you will at least commit to one Inside Out event before Impact? I can promise you whatever might be keeping you from doing it, once you do one, you'll be like, wow, that was way easier than I thought. And the results were even better than I could imagine. So will you commit to doing over the next 25 days at least one Inside Out event? If you haven't already gone through the slide deck, start there. Get a sense of what it looks like and what difference it will make and the ease of being able to click through each slide and play each video. I love Joy said yes. Alita said yes. Who else is going to say yes? Do one. Do one before Impact. Can you do that? Because there are people waiting on you to help them get what's inside of them out. And it starts with doing an Inside Out event. Nancy said, yeah, and Nancy did one. I know there's a bunch of you guys have done your very first ones, but there's so many more that haven't. If everybody right now, I want you to think about this. I think if everybody on this Zoom right now did an Inside Out event, everybody that's even just replying in the comments, even if there was 3 people at your event, the reach that would create, the difference that would make, the number of people that would be exposed to Alivea before we even get to Impact would be significant. Sometimes we don't move because we don't think that our movement is significant enough. Um, and and so just know, and like you can do it at someone else's house. It doesn't have to be at your house. You can do like in a coffee shop with 2 people sitting across the table and just pulling up your computer and having some samples. Don't overcomplicate this. Okay? Don't overcomplicate it, guys. This is You moving because there's something you desire to impact the people around you that have something they desire to. And so maybe invite one or two friends if you can't do it at your house to come to a restaurant and do a couple samples and pull out the laptop and talk through some stuff. Bring them the questionnaires. It's that simple. And I'm gonna have on our next next Love Zoom, I'm gonna pull on a couple of the people that have already done theirs so that you can hear from them. So you don't think it's just Kristi telling you that it's easy or that you should do it, but you can hear from them that it was super simple and that they were really excited for how it turned out and how it was received. That's the biggest thing that we've been hearing is how people are receiving it. Um, and how thankful they are for how it's presented. So how many of you will do an inside out event before impact, 25 days? And then I want to encourage you, how many of you, at least one, please don't stop at one, but I want to challenge you, invite one more person with you to impact. Okay. Invite one, at least one. And you might want to do one a day. You might do one a week. We're 25 days away, right? Nancy said she did today. Invite one more person. I can tell you guys it's going to be different. This is going to be a different impact. There's going to be things that'll surprise and delight you. There'll be things that are the same for sure too. But you are going to be sitting there going, oh, I wish so-and-so was sitting right next to me. Think of that person now, and you might even tell them that. You might say, I was sitting picturing impact. I was picturing the event in Dallas, the thing I've mentioned to you, or maybe you haven't mentioned to him at all. And I was thinking, man, I was really wishing you were there. So let's take care of that now, right? Let's take care of that now. But as we focus on building event to event and growing your team with you at each event, it starts with having those invitations. And guess what? Even if they say no, right now, the person you haven't invited isn't coming anyways. Think about that for a second. Okay. Anyone that you haven't invited yet, they're not coming anyways. So if you invite them, guess what? They might come. They might actually be there. And so it's having that conversation and saying, hey, I don't know, but I can't stop thinking about what this event could mean for you. And if you guys know something they're struggling with or a reason why you feel like them being at the event would make a difference, that's where you start. I can't stop thinking that this could be the answer for everything that you and I have been talking about that you're struggling with, but you've got to see it firsthand. You've got to come with me. And if you get there and it isn't, well, one, I can guarantee you, you won't regret having been there. You guys know that. Nobody's coming to impact on, ugh, that was terrible. I wish I had never come. They're going to have an amazing time. They're going to be inspired, encouraged, and they're going to go back to whatever their life looks like. And they're going to be coming back with a new and fresh perspective, regardless of what they decide to do with Alavea. Remember as well that if someone is in driving distance, Friday is free. It's open to guests. And so be thinking not only, you might be like, well, I don't know anybody that lives in driving distance to, where we're going to be. But think of, you might not, but who do you know that does? You might even just ask, look through, you can actually search your Facebook contacts for people that live in different states. And you might just find some people that know people in the area that you could invite as well too. But just get creative. Don't stay in the same box and expect different results, right? What are you willing to do different to cause some different things to happen? Different might look like um, sleeping on the floor of your hotel room so that there's one more bed space in your room that you can bring a new person and they can sleep on. I mean, we've done it all to remove obstacles and excuses for people getting to where they're going to catch bigger vision. Guys, that's what it takes, is catching bigger vision. And you guys know, if you were at the Branson event and heard Dr. Reg speak at the Branson event, it was extremely impactful for everybody that was in the room. For everybody that was in the room. And so who needs to be in the room for that, and keep inviting. Okay, so invite at least one more person with strength to impact. And the reality is, guys, the more people you invite, whether they come to impact or not, it's a seed planted for inspire. It's a seed planted for ignite. It's a seed planted for more. It's a seed planted for, well, I can't come to Texas, but I'll come to your Inside Out event, right? It's a seed planted. So one, at least one Inside Out event over the next 25 days, and at least one more invitation to impact, right? At least one more invitation to impact. And then what will you commit to over the next 25 days as far as a stick in a story? As far as new, think about it as new, as far as filling the pipeline with new, because there's always something coming, and you guys want to have new people that you're in conversation with, new people that have gotten a sample in their body. I mean, hello, pink lemonade. Focus, who doesn't want to get that in their body, who doesn't want to share that with everybody? Man, it's delicious. I I actually hate to say this, but I literally am so in love with pink lemonade focus that I pulled out my husband handed me a fruit punch one the other day, and I'm like, wait, we were this was our drive to Wyoming. I'm like, wait, where's the pink lemonade? He's like, oh, I don't know, but there's a fruit punch. And I literally for a split second was like, do I actually want to drink a focus if I can't have a pink lemonade? Of course, the answer is yes, but I was really looking forward to pink lemonade. Um, but I just want to challenge us to, I love that. Cheryl said 3 before impact. That's awesome. So good. So guys, commit to something now to yourself. Okay. So when you get off tonight, take stock in, do I need to grow in? And I would love for you to either message me and definitely talk to me at Impact. If there's like specifically, so those of you guys that are on the 5, 10K or the 20, 40K Zooms, we can talk about it directly as well too. But I really want to know, is it love? Is it in leading? Is it in vision? Or is it empowerment? Is it in there um, that you feel held back? What is it of those that you feel held back? And then give yourself a measurement on all 4. Which one am I learning? Which one am I living? And which one am I leading? Right? And you may find that maybe you don't have one that you're leading yet, or maybe you have, like, you're learning this one, you're living this one, you're leading that one. But put some thought into that perspective, and then make sure um, to hold yourself accountable to something over the next 25 days and share it with your team. Okay. I want in your team chats, in your team WhatsApps, in your team Telegrams, in all those places that you communicate as a team, in our 5, 10K Zooms, and in our 20 and 40K Zooms, like, put in there, what is it that you're committing to that someone can hold you accountable to for the next 25 days? Because you want to know that you're entering impact, having made an impact, right? This is not time to sit back. This is time to press in. This is time to press in. And I know that you guys are going to do that. And so be encouraged today that there is more inside of you. There is always going to be more inside of you. There's going to be more than you believe inside of you. And so step into the greater, step into the more, and then know that in doing that, one, it helps to lift the lid of the people around you and inspire and encourage others to do the same thing. You're going to hear at Impact from our 6 incentive earners, 5 earners, and 1 raffle ticket earner. We'll be announcing the raffle ticket earner here real soon, but you're going to be hearing from them on what they did through the length of the incentive to grow their business. And my prayer is that it inspires everyone to move and to get into action that matters to the people around you. So you guys are amazing. And I believe so much more for you and so much more for what we're going to accomplish here together in Alavea. And every single one of us makes a difference. Every single one of us, every single conversation you have, every single person that you care enough to reach out to and to share, every single person that you're willing to slow down enough to meet them exactly where they are with the conversation that they need, um, is it makes a difference. It really makes a difference. So be looking if you didn't see it already. Impact email went out today. So everybody that's registered for Impact, that first email went out today. You'll be getting one every week moving forward over the next few weeks as we lead up to Impact, but getting you ready for the exciting things that we have going on while we're there, and preparation as we lead into all the great things coming out of it. So thank you guys for being on with me tonight. I hope you were encouraged to take action in a way that looks different tomorrow than it did today. Know that you are loved, and you are a leader, and there are people that are following you and waiting for you to step into the more. So love you guys lots. Have a great night. God bless, and we'll talk to you guys soon.